It's time for the Timeless Roofing Friday morning sports drive live from Pumps, PB and Jam. Timeless Roofing, over 30 years of experience. Quality and integrity never get old at timelessroofingsc.com. Call for a free quote, 803-687-4184. The Timeless Roofing Friday morning sports drive live from Pumps, PB and Jam is sponsored by Allen Harmon Trucking, Amick Farms, Angie Fulmerito, Corner, Bailey & Son Music Company, Berry Insurance Agency, Bobby K. Roof Builders, Brown's Auto Detail, Cal Forest, House District 39, Carolina Health Centers, Carolina Concrete, CB Forest & Son, CIA Towing, CM Tree Service, Cones Meats, Cromer Trucking, Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, Dr. Ralph and Riley, MD, Economy Furniture, Edwards Heating and Cooling, Farm Bureau, H&R Block, JRAX Terminating, Kelly White State Farm Insurance, Lake Murray Properties, Love's Handyman Service, Saluda Livestock Market, Mason Haney Plumbing, Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative, Minix Saluda Body Shop, Miggs of Saluda, Molly Mitchell Spearman and Family, Motor Coach Paint and Body Car Sales, Newberry Hospital, Patchwork Farm, Persimmon Hill Country Club, Price's Garage and Heavy Duty Towing, Pumps PB and Jam, Ralph Sheila Kennedy Law Office, Ramey Funeral Home, Saluda Law, Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center, Saluda Stockyards, Saluda Water and Sewer Authority, Senator Billy Garrett, South State Bank, Sylvan Farms, the Charlie Foundation, the Jane Autry Insurance Company, the Law Office of Nancy T. Jordan, the South Carolina Education Lottery, the Town of Saluda, TimelessRoofingSC.com, Viva Broadband, Whizzes, World Finance, Westview Behavioral Health, and Neighbors United Federal Credit Union. Thank you for joining us for another Timeless Roofing SC.com Friday morning sports drive live from Pumps, PB and Jam. And good morning, everyone. And we're coming to you live from Pumps PB and Jam. We appreciate you joining us here on another Timeless Roofing SC.com. And we're gearing up to end the season tonight as we're about to go out in style against American Leadership Academy. First time we've ever played this team, welcoming this team from, I guess it's Lexington, West Columbia, South Carolina. Tonight is actually going to be their senior night. They do not have a football facility, so we're going to recognize their seniors. Also, it is the night of champions. We're going to be recognizing some championship winners, and we're going to be talking more about that. And also, we're going to be saluting our veterans, and we're looking forward to that as well. But we hope that you will be with us for that. By the way, we want to recognize Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center. It's a great place to get your rehab on, and it's a great place to stay if you needed to stay after a hospital stay. 3131 Newberry Highway there in Saluda. This Wednesday, 2 o'clock, November the 13th, A Hall grand reopening. Can't wait to see it. Can't wait to go around and view the renovations that have been done. There will be light refreshments to follow. We hope that you will join us there at Saluda Nursing and Rehab Center this coming Wednesday, November the 13th, coming up. And hey, guess what's happening this weekend? Santa Claus is coming to town. That's right. It's the Christmas Craft Show at Saluda National Guard Armory, right there at on the corner of Greenwood Highway, next to Saluda Pentecostal Holiness Church. Saturday, November the 9th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sunday, November the 10th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you want more information, call Miss Johnny this morning, 864-980-8760. And we want to congratulate our sponsors on SALUDANow on winning their seats. Angie Fulmerita, congratulations. She is our Saluda County Coroner. We want to congratulate her. Also, we want to congratulate Cal Forrest on his win as reelected for House District 39, and Billy Garrett won South Carolina District 25. And our own Jeffrey Jordan won School Board District 1, Seat 3. And Jeffrey's with us this morning. Good to see you, brother.
Hey, good to see you. Good to be here.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you so much. It was a squeaker, but, we won out.
And happy birthday, too.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. 39's never been so fine. So just hanging on to it and just working. And
it's been a roller coaster week.
It's been a roller coaster of a week. It sure has. So just excited, blessed to be here. Excited about the future, Saluda Schools. Looking forward to tonight, getting back on the field, bouncing back, and just look forward.
And we've tried to get on that field this week, but the rain has held us off. So hopefully the weather will break this morning and we can get out there and get the field looking good. We've got a lot of good ideas for tonight and the colors on the field this week.
How did it look this morning, Brandon, when you was out there about 5:30?
5:30, I checked the lights. Everything was good, but that field is still.
Was the fog on it?
Yes, very much so.
I couldn't find pumps this morning.
You just drive toward the light, but after you
I
come out
I had to
178
really slow down. I felt sorry for that person behind me. They were probably praying for me this morning.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah. They were probably praying for me as I was slowing down because I got really slow out there.
Well, I thought I'd missed it. I thought I should have been at it.
We're
Back up the road, but then I saw Miss Gwen's light, and I just drove toward the light, and I came right in.
Oh, you saw the lights of Miss Gwen?
And I think we actually in negotiations with Mr. Johnny Corley to hover over the pole with the helicopter, and just dry that thing off. That's what we're probably looking at.
I wonder if he could flip it upside down and get the propellers.
Is that what we're going to do?
No, I just made that
That's
up,
a good way to dry it off, ain't it?
It's a little expensive, but
maybe it'll do some renovations while he's flying over the field.
And Mr. Johnny's in here, so I think I talked him into something. I didn't put it on him, but I was totally joking. We have not talked with him about that, but that's a great rumor to come out, So
might as well start on SALUDANow.
Hey, that's right. I love them. Mm-hmm. We'll put it out there and see how far it goes. That's a good thing.
Let's see how much it changes before it gets back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to playing American Leadership Academy. I messed up this week. I put American Legion Academy. A hard time with that name, but American Leadership Academy, we're looking forward to meeting this team. And also this morning, if you'll go to SALUDANow, there is information on their breaking news. Gray Collegiate has been disqualified from the postseason play. What's y'all's thought on that, Jeffrey and Brandon?
I don't we talked a little bit about it beforehand, and I don't understand it. But I'll give you. This is my take on it. This is Jeffrey's take on it.
There we go.
Been getting players from all over the state of South Carolina, Georgia, North Carolina since the inception. Nothing was ever done about it. But here's the key, and I'm going to tell you this because this is the root of everything. Now that they moved, it's more money in 4A. It's more about more money in 4A, and they have more pool in 4A schools than you do 2A schools. So it doesn't matter in 2A. They can come around there and do whatever they want to. But now you're up in 4A, different set of rules, different set of, I'd say are enforced a little bit more. So it all comes down to $1 and the pool that you have in 4A. So I believe that's what it is.
I mean, I pretty much agree with Jeffrey. I mean, they get kids from all over the state, then they go talk to an 8th grader, and then all of a sudden it's a game changer. You know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't fully understand it. Some people commented that they thought it was not fair to the students. Of course, they didn't. They did have a decision. Their parents did. From what I understand, some people cross state lines from North Carolina to come to Gray. Is that way it was? Is that way y'all understand it too?
I don't know, but we talked about this last week. I do feel bad for the students. I do feel bad for those seniors. Everybody on that football team is going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's bad. And the thing is, they don't have any control over it. Adults, but it's the kids that end up getting punished, and that's the bad thing about it. They don't have any say over who brings in who and who. They don't have. They just go out there and play. They're just kids, and that's who I hate it for. Is the young people that are suffering because of decisions that adults make. So I wish there was something they could do different, but I guess that is what it is.
And we'll be watching this situation. They are appealing it, by the way. I meant to say that they are appealing that decision, which means that they've already written a statement up. I don't have it up to read this morning, but they have already written a statement up and appealing the decision. Another thing I want to share with you today is that we have 3 of our young men are going to be in the Border Bowl, and I put this on SALUDANow this morning. It's going to be, let me pull it up real quick for you. I want to make sure I get the names right before I say it this morning. We're going to have representing Saluda, and by the way, the Border Bowl game is going to be at Strong Thurmond this year, which is going to be nice. I don't even remember it being at Strong Thurmond, and a lot of people don't realize Edgefield County is a border county.
Yeah, absolutely.
We border Georgia, and I'm glad to see that. Maybe Coach Young will give us a little bit more insight. Congratulations, Vic Gaines, Jordan Hagler, J.T. Lott on being selected in the Border Bowl Saturday, January the 11th at Strong Thurmond. I don't have a time yet, but when I get the time, I'm sure it'll be that morning. I will share it on SALUDANow. But congratulations, you young men, fine young men, and we hope to have them either on this program or Tuesday's program, maybe not this coming week, but maybe the next week as we're in the playoffs. We congratulate them today.
Hey, absolutely. I tell you what, great play by those young men this year. Can't say enough about them, what they've done this year on the football field. Just really excited, to continue to watch those young men. All of them are seniors, I believe.
Yes.
So, we'll get to see them a few more times, and then that'll be it, for football. So, like I said, blink your eyes and it's over. But congratulations to those young men on that accomplishment.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know if these young men can grasp the idea right now that, for most, that window of opportunity to play this great sport is over before you know it. And for them to get chosen to play in an extra game like that, they need to really seize the moment and appreciate it for what it is.
And, yes, congratulations. We are just so proud of them. And just to see them on Friday night, just the intensity they give, even in the game last week, and even though we did lose, and I love their intensity to never give up, and we'll be talking about that more in a little bit. But right now, we want to talk about the games of the week, and we have those games up on SALUDANow. By the way, if you go to SALUDANow, you can week the correct score. I can't believe that we hadn't anyone get the correct pick all year on the score. And the games of the week today, excuse me, is we have South Carolina, and they're playing Vanderbilt. Excuse me, I'm trying to get all this up for you. South Carolina and Vanderbilt, that ought to be a good matchup. We're going to be picking that in just a minute. And Clemson, Virginia Tech. Both of them are on the road, by the way. Clemson will be back on the road. And, of course, South Carolina's coming over a big win. And, of course, Clemson had a loss, unfortunately, last week. So we'll be talking a little bit about that in a minute. But right now, let's talk about our top picks, fellows. And the first pick on there is Rutgers, and they're playing Minnesota. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff, by the way. Rutgers is favored 6.5 in this matchup.
I think Minnesota will pull this one out. And is it at Minnesota?
No, it's at Rutgers.
Oh, okay. I still think
The team on the right side is your home team, by the way.
Oh, okay.
On the
But
card.
I'm gonna go Minnesota on this one.
Okay, Jeffrey.
Hey, I'm going with Rutgers. They're a favorite. They're at home. I don't think Syracuse will have enough for them. It'll be a close game, but I'm taking Rutgers.
Okay, the next one is Syracuse and Boston College, a great ACC matchup, and Boston College is favored by 2. 12 o'clock matchup. By the way, I was wrong on Rutgers. I'm telling you, when it comes to this betting, I don't know what I'm talking about a lot of times. Rutgers is an underdog 6.5. Minnesota was favored by 6.5. Boston College is favored by 2, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This ought to be a good game. Syracuse. I'm gonna lean towards Syracuse. I think they've got a little bit more than Boston College does this year. They've been off and on, but I'm gonna go with Syracuse.
Jeffrey?
All right, I'm going to rewind my pick because I looked at it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm taking Minnesota
There
in
you
the
go.
first one. Yep, I'm taking Minnesota.
The Golden Gophers.
Yep, I apologize. But I'm going to take Boston College in this one. Yep, I totally
All right.
messed up.
And I'm going to take Syracuse, the Big Orange, and Boston College. They pretty good team. It's going to be at Boston College, so maybe you're right, Jeffrey. Next up is Navy and South Florida, and Navy is favored by 3, which is a field goal. Brandon.
Navy played good ball all year long,
yeah.
and USF is no slack team themselves, but I think Navy's going to be there Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll give them all they want at home, so I'm going Navy.
Jeffrey?
I agree. I like Navy in this game. I love my service academies, so I'm going to go with Navy.
I think y'all might be right on that, and I actually think it'll be more than 3.
I do too.
Next up is one near and dear to my heart, and it's Georgia Ole Miss in the Grove, and Georgia's favored by a field goal. Brandon? 3:30.
Ole Miss
ABC.
is a solid team. Kiffin has them boys playing right now. Kirby, I believe, is just still on a different level with the Bulldogs. I think Georgia will well over cover their spread on this one.
Not so fast, Brandon. This is probably more for Burton than anything else. But I think Ole Miss's offense is a lot better than Florida's. I think Florida kind of gave us a little bit of a game plan on how to defense Georgia and the quarterback by disguising coverages and doing things. I guarantee you that tape's being watched, has been watched all week. So even though favorite person, I'm going to take Ole Miss just to go against Burton for sure.
Not so fast, Jeffrey. I'm going to go, especially, I'm going to go with his home school, Georgia, and they're going to win by 2 touchdowns in the, and you're going to see another plays up to their level. It has nothing to do with competition at the time. And so that's what I'm going to go with, because we know Texas was a good team and is a good team. And that was my true barometer on the whole schedule. But anyway, Georgia on that one. Next up, Iowa State and Kansas, excuse me. And Iowa State is favored by 3, Brandon, another 3:30 matchup.
And Iowa State playing at Kansas. I think they're going to come in there and cover the spread.
Yeah.
I believe they will.
Jeffro?
I believe Kansas being at home is going to take this game. It's going to be a close one, but I'm going to take Kansas at home.
Okay. Yeah, I think y'all right on that one too. Okay. North Texas. All right. And I don't even know what emblem this is, y'all.
Okay, I was fixing to ask.
I thought it was the University of Central Florida.
Okay, Central Florida. That's right. You're right.
And it
okay.
Yeah.
North Texas is Central Florida is favored by 6.
I'm going with the Mean Joe Green alumni. I'm going North Texas.
And I like.
Okay,
I
that's
like,
where he went to school. Mm-hmm. How about that?
And I like that pick.
Yeah.
And I kind of like North Texas, so I'm going to go with Brandon. I'm going to take North Texas at home.
All right, I want to go with Mean Joe Green football too. By the way, it's Army. It's Army they're playing.
Ooh, we missed that.
Oh, yeah.
I missed that bad.
Well, let's back it up then. We were under false pretense. We didn't have the right information there. What you think, Brandon, backing it up?
I'm going to stay with it.
You going to stay with Mean Joe Green?
I'm going to stick with Mean Joe Green, North Texas.
They like old fish on the ground. I'm going to flop. I'm going to go with the Army. I'm going to back up and take Army on the road.
Yeah, I think I'm going with Jeffrey that one. Sorry, Brandon, I left you hanging.
That's all right.
All right, 4 o'clock matchup. We're getting on in the afternoon. Man, we're going to have a lot of good games tomorrow. Woo!
Yeah.
It's tight. It's getting tighter. Texas Tech and Colorado. What you think, Brandon? Is this going to be another good win for Colorado?
I believe it'll be another game decided in the fourth quarter, but I think Colorado atop Texas Tech.
All right.
I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to take Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech has the ability to put up some points. I think it could be a shootout. I don't think it'll be much defense in the game, but I'm going to take Texas Tech in a shootout.
All right. I think it's going to be Colorado in this one. I think that Dion's going to show out, and he's going to make this a great Big 12 win tomorrow at 4 o'clock at Texas Tech. All right. Then we got Maryland and Oregon, and I don't think it's a lot of decisions to be made in this game.
No, I feel like everybody on Oregon's roster will probably play tomorrow.
26 points. My goodness.
Oh, it is 26.
Yeah, and I agree with Brandon. Oregon going to roll. They're looking really good, playing really good football. You would think maybe they'd have a letdown in Maryland. Yeah. And they're going to win, but, I mean, maybe not cover the spread, but I really think they're going to cover the spread, too. I think it's going to be I think it'll be 40.
Is the college football rankings out yet?
On Tuesday, no?
I was watching a little.
They came out Tuesday, okay.
Yeah, I was looking at a little projected bracket last night. So it's fun to be able to speculate and watch that kind of stuff. But, you know, the games got to be played. So
So that makes me think that Oregon's going to be merciless on Maryland and get points up so they can get better in the rankings. You see what I'm saying? I mean,
for sure. You got to have those style points.
Yeah.
Them style points mean something.
If you like Oregon football, that's a good game to watch.
Oh, yeah. Go and relax.
Now, here's a good night matchup, and this is where College Game Day is going to be tomorrow. LSU and Alabama, 7:30 kickoff at LSU, and Alabama's favored by 3, Brandon.
Both of these teams have been up and down. Really been down when you thought they were going to. But it's been a roller coaster for both of them. But I think Alabama's there fourth quarter and finishes it. I'm going Alabama.
You know, you hope that this is going to be a good game. I feel sure. Yeah, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go the other way. I feel like I'm taking a lot of underdogs today, but I kind of feel that way. So I'm going to take LSU in a battle. I think Alabama just doesn't finish. I think that's what they're lacking with Saban. Saban always preaches finish, and it just looks like really with the new coach, they're not quite finishing people off, not quite, just sort of letting people hang around. And when they do that, they have some really tight games. So I'm going to LSU night game in the Bayou.
All right. And I think you're right there too, Jeffrey. I hope you're right. Penn State. And they're going to be playing Washington at home, and Penn State's favored by almost 2 touchdowns, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after that boot kick in the teeth last week, they're going to come back and try to make an example out of Washington.
Yeah, I agree. I think Penn State bounces right back, goes right back. And, they didn't fall but a couple spots in the polls, so they're still sitting in a really good position, really playing good football. Like I said, Ohio State's the class of the North until somebody beats them. So, but this week, Penn State gets back on track, and I'm taking Penn State.
By the way, I didn't know Tony Berry had sent me his picks. And he picked Rutgers, Syracuse, Navy, Georgia, Kansas, Army, Colorado, Oregon, LSU, and Penn State. Okay, I got him caught up. And as we go with the picks, I'll pick the rest of them. All right. Next up, Nevada, and who are they playing?
I hate to say it, but I think that's Boise State.
Okay. Yeah,
I was wrong last time I said it, but
no, I think you're right on that.
I think I'm going to go back to 50-50 here.
Yeah, Boise State's tough with that Heisman candidate they have. That kid is for real.
He's legit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's Boise State.
Yeah, I believe they'll cover that probably with number 2 alone.
Rolls up Nevada. And this kid continues his Heisman campaign. Boise State.
Tony said he thinks Nevada will cover the spread. What does that mean?
That they'll get beat by less than 24.5.
Okay. Yeah, that's two, but I believe he's right on that. I do think Boise State, but 24.5 is a little bit iffy, because they are, but, that.
I think it's been so long since they've had a Heisman candidate there, and now they've got this kid. I think they're going to try to hang every point they can.
I got you. Okay. Here's another good matchup, Virginia and Pitt. Virginia's favored by a little bit over a touchdown at Pitt. It's an 8 o'clock game, by the way.
I think Pitt is still the better team here, and I think they're scrambling right now, trying to prove a point. I'm going to go Pitt over Virginia.
Okay.
I agree. I think Pitt's the better team. I think they go into Virginia and get it done. Play good defense, run the ball, and they'll come out of Virginia with a win.
All right. And here's a good one. Yale and Utah. And Utah is a 4-point underdog at home against Yale, y'all.
Is that Yale?
What's that big one?
Yeah. And by the way, did you know Yale was the number one, have won more national championships than any other school?
Is that Yale or BYU?
Yale.
Yale.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Like 13 or 14, something like that. I mean, when football was first born.
Oh.
Oh no, I was talking about on the card. Is that not BYU?
BYU, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought.
But
it
yes,
said
Yale does have the most national championships. I
Yeah.
agree with that. But is that BYU? I think
Yes,
that's BYU.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, they've got Utah spotted 4 points. Brigham Young ought to win this game, but being at Utah, I'm going Utah.
Okay.
I'm going with BYU, and I think they're gonna roll them up. I think they'll cover plus. I just got a feeling about them. And that's a 50-50 deal.
50-50 deal.
Yep.
Tony
So-
picks Utah on that one, so we'll see. And it's going to be at Utah, so I think I'm going to lean with Utah on that one. I don't know a lot about them, and I sure ain't staying up no 10-15 to watch it. I think I'll be in the shutout.
Oh, I'll
by
be
then.
done. This new time's whipping me.
It's something, ain't it? We rolled back, and we actually gained an hour, and we feel like we done lost an hour.
Oh yeah. I mean, I find myself cooking supper like at 4:30.
Trying to beat the sun go down.
Into bed by 7. I mean, I still just wake up just exhausted. So.
Okay, fellas, here's a good one. South Carolina is favored by 3.5 at Vanderbilt.
Oh, I'm taking South Carolina. I mean, I think South Carolina. Man, what I saw last week and the way that defense is playing, Sellers is coming out making plays and doing things. I'm gonna tell you what, the way the Texas A&M coach on the sideline, I love when they pan to him and show pictures of him. He was just stunned. He was just like he just didn't know what was going on. So it might be the kiss of death, but I'm gonna take South Carolina to roll up Vanderbilt.
Yeah, both teams have made tremendous advancements this year in their playing. I was totally disappointed about the same time that game was on the other night, so I flipped it off the Clemson game and watched a real good game. Carolina played excellent on defense and offense, and like you said, the Texas A&M coach said it all. I mean, he was shocked, and I was totally shocked at how well and how complete they played all 4 quarters. I think Carolina's getting it together now, late in the season, and Vandy has very much improved this year. But I'm gonna go Carolina over Vandy.
Man, I tell you what, if you look at Carolina, and I get reminded because my wife's a Carolina fan, that they had Alabama on the ropes, basically had them beat. LSU, that phantom pass interference call, let LSU win that game. The only team they've really been beat by is Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you what, so Carolina could be sitting here with 1 loss, and I think they're the best 3-loss team in the country.
Yes.
By far. So my hat's off to Carolina, Shane Beamer for what they're doing. I think they look really good.
All right. And then we have an interesting game here. Tech, by the way, I don't on that. Let me look it up real quick.
I don't think it really matters. Yeah,
I think now you can check me with it.
Okay.
my blood runs orange. I pulled from it. I was very disappointed. I feel like since it's been such a long time since they lost back to back, I'm going to go that they bounce back pretty good this week against Virginia Tech.
Well, Virginia Tech does have a little orange in their uniform,
That
but
might sway.
it's not the right shade. So I'm going to go with Clemson. Last week this time, I said, man, they're going to roll them up. I don't know, man. They just never quite happened. But, they had more yards, more time of possession. Everything was in their favor, and you lose the ball game like they did. So got to step up. Defense has to stop the run. And if they take care of that, I think that they'll take care of Virginia Tech in easy fashion.
Yeah, I got to agree with both of y'all there. I don't think Virginia Tech is hitting on this much this year. They're 5-4 overall, 3-2 in the conference, and I just don't think that they're going to have what's needed to beat Clemson. And I think Klubnik gets back in his winning fashion, and I think it's going to be a great game. All right. Well, we're waiting for Coach Stuart Young, and while we wait, we're wanting to pick tonight's game, and we want you to be out there. Of course, we're hoping that you will be there. We're going to be recognizing our Night of Champions. We're going to be doing this at halftime, and we'll also be giving a salute to our veterans, and we're thankful for our veterans, aren't we, fellas?
Oh, yes.
Well, I tell you what, it touched my heart, and you can go ahead and tell. I keep sending these messages to Kevin. I need to call him myself. But last week, we had the red, white, and blue ribbon on the field, which I thought was really excellent. And, that is what separates, ordinary from extraordinary, is that little bit of extra. We always talk about that. And Brandon Kevin really does that little bit of extra and takes a lot of pride in what he does. So I can't say enough about him and the way.
Oh, he's definitely been stressing this week with the weather on the field and him not being able to get on the field like he wants to and have it ready. I mean, usually by now the field's already ready, but he's not even been able to get on it yet. So the anxiety pills are probably close to Kevin's hand right now this week.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I just thought that was a nice touch. And, some people may not pay attention and recognize that, but I surely do. And it doesn't go unnoticed. So, great job by the young man. And just can't say enough about that kind of people in Saluda, working in Saluda, just really keep things going. And people really need to take time to acknowledge that and just say thank you, for what he does. Because it doesn't have to look like that.
No. And hats off to everybody on the field. Fortunately, I'm kind of proud of it. Everybody that works on that.
That's awesome. I love to hear that.
And today we have a tribute. We're about to play now.
A few moments ago, I placed a wreath at the tomb of the and stood during the moment of silence that followed. I said a small prayer, and it occurred to me ancestors has had a similar moment, and I wondered if our prayers weren't very much the same, if not identical. Armistice that ended World War I. The armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th. All Americans' prayers aren't the same as those I mentioned a moment ago. All we can ever do for our heroes is remember them and remember. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise. We see them as something like the founding fathers, gray and gray-haired. But most of them were lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is someone who is remembering for us. No matter what time of year it is or what time of day, leave a flag or a flower or a little rock on a headstone, and they stop and to communicate. I think sometimes of General Matthew Ridgway, who the night before D-Day talked to the Lord and listened for the promise that God made to Joshua. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. We're surrounded today by the dead of our wars. We owe them a debt we can never repay. All we can do is remember them and what they did and why they had to be brave for us. All we can do is try to see. Today, as never before, we must pledge to remember the things that will continue the peace. God's help in broadening and deepening the peace we enjoy. Let us pray for freedom and justice and a more stable world. With the dead, a promise in the words for which General Ridgway listened, I will not fail thee.
tribute to our veterans. We appreciate each one of you.
A few moments ago.
And on this Veterans Day weekend, we will be saluting our veterans at halftime during the game tonight as the Saluda Tigers take on the American Leadership Academy.
Are we on?
Coach, you might-
Hey, you know what? We're looking forward to.
It's time for the Coach Stuart Young Show on your SALUDANow. The Coach Young Show is sponsored by Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply, 508 North Main, Saluda. Call them 864-445-0062. They're open to serve you 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday and 7 to 4 Saturday, closed Sunday. From the front yard to the back pasture, we've got you covered. Visit us today for the lowest prices around and the best service you'll find at Crouch Hardware and Farm Supply. And now, here's Coach Stuart Young. And we're glad to be joined today by Coach Stuart Young. Coach Young, thank you for joining us on SALUDANow.
Thank you for having me, as always.
And, of course, we're gearing up for tonight, and we'll be talking about that shortly. But we'd like to look back at last week's matchup.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you have good wins, really good wins. I've had some this year, and then sometimes you have. Kids were ready to play, had a good week of practice. Never got off on the right foot. Never got off kickoff. You know, we were called offsides on the opening kickoff, knocks us back. It's just kind of from that point on, you know, you got to get off the field, tip your hat. You know, they've been a deep ball team all year, throwing it deep. And they didn't throw a single deep ball against us. They played the hand that we dealt them defensively, and they check route after check route. We tried some multiple adjustments. I think we had 6. They got third and long 6 times in a row, and it's very frustrating. The quarterback is very accurate thrower, and he didn't miss. Maybe one. He might have missed one time, and we just off the field on third down. We were in double coverage on one of them, 3rd and 22, and they, you know, their player made a play, and he caught it within 2 of our guys, and 7-0 with 26 seconds to go in the half, and they punched it in after they converted once again 3 or 4 third downs in a row to make it 14-0. We were going to get the ball back to start the second half, but that was kind of a dagger, you know, in our mind. If we get to the half at 7-0, you know, we only had 18 onside to start the second half. He just kind of missed the ball, I think, and they got it, and that really took the win. Then we get them on 3rd and 10 again from the 38-yard line, and we had an adjustment for halftime for our coverage, and our guy just didn't quite get there in time to make the play, and they scored on it. And at that point, you know, the writing was on the wall. We just needed to compete and finish the game out. We're not very healthy right now. We're going to have 2 or 3 starters not play tonight, 2 or 3 really good players that everybody will know that they're not in the game. And they wouldn't be playing nobody tonight who we were playing. So we've got to get healthy and regroup and see where we fall after tonight when the brackets come out and try to go make a run at it.
All right. And tonight we want to invite everybody out, get there early. Let's tailgate. Let's have a great pregame. By the way, American Leadership Academy will be recognizing their seniors. This is like a home game to them, being they don't have a facility. They just getting started out. Saluda had their start way back, and they're just getting started out in football, and we're glad to have them with us tonight. It's also at halftime the night of champions, Coach.
Yeah, they reached out to us early in the week to want to know if they could have their seniors recognized, and it was a no-brainer. don't have the experience that we get, in a hometown environment that we get, and I need to respect that and not take it for granted, because this team we're playing tonight, they don't get that. They don't have a chance to come out to a home field and have a. And by the way, last week's crowd was just unbelievable. The amount of people, and it was just. I hate that it happened like that. I hate that we couldn't perform the way, and I didn't. It's my fault. I'll take total blame for it. To not perform the way we should have performed, and we didn't. But they're high school kids, and they're resilient, and they'll bounce back, and we'll learn from it. But yeah, American Leadership Academy in the state trying to get this thing started for those guys. So we wanted to make sure they felt they needed that. He said some of their parents even cried when he told them that they were going to be able to recognize their senior. So that's good for them, and we're gonna have a little surprise. The coaches are gonna have something different on tonight to kind of honor military appreciation.
That's right.
So you'll see what I mean when we get there. But yeah, they're a good. They're scrappy little football team. And they're learning how to play the game and looking forward to competing with those guys tonight.
And we want everybody out there. Pre-game's at 7. The kickoff at 7:30. We
Fabulous game. I mean, fabulous crowd last week, Coach. And what's your message to the team after the game?
It's not over. It's not over. That's the big thing. And I hate to continue to go back to certain measuring sticks, but you go back to 2019, we lost back-to-back games, including by 4 touchdowns against Abbeville, and then lost to Batesburg. And they didn't lose again. And they sat in that same locker room with that same feeling that we had Friday night. 2 years ago, we lost to Strom Thurmond and Silver Bluff. Back and sat in the same meeting room that Monday morning and went to the Upper State Championship. And our DNA has not changed. We're the same genetic athletes that we were going into this game. We lost to a really good team, the number 1 team, who hasn't trailed all year long, and adversity and didn't overcome it. If we had the fourth quarter, we've got to get to the fourth quarter, and we could not get to the fourth quarter. Hence the long 22-play drive and then the onside kick. That bam, that knocks us out of the. We got to get to the fourth quarter, and we did against Thurman the week before. We didn't last week, but guys, we still got a chance. And so that's all you can tell them, and that's the truth, and that's no excuses, but we didn't play well enough to win. That type of game only comes around again in the upper state kind of championship environment. Yeah. And anytime you get there, you've got to get to the fourth quarter.
Stadium, and I know you say you hate to go back, think about that, but that's exactly what I thought about. I thought about that the whole time, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, honestly, I would much rather beat them the second time than the first time.
Well, we gotta,
and that's something that I'd like to do with anybody. And I tell it's great to win a region championship, but we start our 3rd season after tonight. I thought we did really good the 2nd season, and the 3rd season, that's fresh for everybody, and I hope the young kids know that. And everything that we want is just still in front of us. Yeah. And I don't want people to think that it's over, and I don't want people to hang their head, especially the young people, because that's really who matters. It doesn't matter what Joe Blow fan thinks, it doesn't matter what I think, but the kids in that locker room and that coaching staff with you. I know what it takes, and I can't say enough about you and your staff. Everybody I talked with was upset afterwards, but they always said, "Hey, we're going back to work." It wasn't like, "Hey, all right, let's pack it up. Where's the basketballs?" Nobody said that. They're like, "Hey, we're going back to work," and I was just excited about that, to hear that. So, thank you, Coach.
Yeah, and the goals are still there to get. So, what you started out for, you want to take care of the first game, then you want to take care of the second game. But, your ultimate goal is still very reachable. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And we want to congratulate, we talked about it earlier before you got here, Vic Gaines, Jordan Hagler, and J.T. Lott for making the Border Bowl.
Yeah, we nominated a bunch of kids, and in a game like that, the coaching staff just sits down and kind of monitors what they need, and they obviously decided they needed those 3 athletes from our team, so we're very proud of those guys for that accomplishment, and hopefully that'll keep them working hard and doing everything the right way as leaders too. Very good players, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again on the field tonight. That's the thing about football. It's not like basketball or baseball or softball. You have to wait a whole week to get back on the field, and so it's not like you get 2 days and, hey, we're back at it. So we're ready to get back on the field. I think that's going to be the biggest medicine for us, is to get back on that field tonight.
And let's get out there and support our Tigers tonight. And we appreciate everybody viewing today. We hope you have a wonderful Friday. Thank you always for joining us for the Timeless Roofing Friday morning